This trip started with a 5:20 a.m. landing in Melbourne, and by the end of it, I'd have traveled with every sibling I have left to travel with. I didn't know that going in, but keep watching, it'll make sense. Also, quick thing before we start, I had the camera out almost this entire trip. I know some people would rather I just put it down and live in the moment, but this is me living the moment. Just don't want to forget it. Suatu masa kalau sudah tua, mau juga melihat orang Aydin and Ilhan, masa dorang kanak-kanak, and the time we spent together here. So the camera stayed. Okay, you guys ready? Ada alpacas, burung kakatua, and a $35 pair of slippers that ruined my life. Let's go. 5:20 a.m. Melbourne. 6 of us. Me and Leah, my brother Azri and his wife Azyan, and the 2 boys, Aydin and Ilhan. 4 adults, 2 kids, almost 0 sleep on the plane, 1 very long road trip ahead. The first stop wasn't even the Great Ocean Road yet. It was Westfield Airport West for breakfast and snacks. You don't start a road trip on an empty stomach, and you definitely don't start with a van full of hungry kids. Somewhere along the way, we stopped at this little pier near Geelong Bay, walked out along the floating path over the water.
What took you so long to get here? That didn't fly. One single block. Just waiting.
Did you see the walking sausage?
Watched the seagulls do their thing. The ladies got themselves oysters. Before dorang cekik makan.
In Geelong.
It's about 6 pieces for $25. Very fancy for a random pit stop.
2 kaping.
Aydin and Ilhan spent most of it chasing and taunting each other like brothers do. But then at one point they were just walking side by side, arms around each other like best friends. No idea what caused the ceasefire. It didn't matter. It was beautiful to see. After the pier, we stopped at another place nearby for Indian food. I can't for the life of me remember the name of the place, but the food was good. Sea air, good company, an unplanned little stretch of the trip that ended up being one of the best. That night, we stayed at Bell's Estate Cottage in Torquay, and yes, before we even officially started the Great Ocean Road, we were already hanging out with alpacas. Or was it llamas? I'm not sure, genuinely still not 100% sure which. Azri trying to lure the alpacas to come here using an alpaca sound from YouTube. Muntah datang alpakanya nih. Yeah. And the way you pronounce Melbourne is not Melbourne. It's Melbourne. What the itinerary did not prepare me for was waking up at 2 a.m. to pee and stepping onto a floor so cold it felt personal. That one moment genuinely changed the entire trip. More on that soon. The next morning, before we even got to the official Great Ocean Road sign, we stopped at Fairhaven Beach Trail. No plan, no expectations, I just wanted to stretch our legs. And I was still thinking about that freezing floor, by the way. So right after the Fairhaven Beach trip, I found a surf shop nearby, and we went looking for slippers. In Brunei, we call them slipar jipun. Figured easy, grab a cheap pair, move on. Tok pakai di jamban tangannya. But everything in there was branded. The cheapest thing resembling a slipar jipun was a pair of Havaianas. It's a brand, and it costs 35 Australian dollars. Kalau di Wasnah, Brunei, I get the exact same knockoff for $3 per liter. And that right there is the moment Azri found his favorite joke of the entire trip. Then the actual Great Ocean Road sign. We did some family photos, the obligatory selfies, the works. We also met a really lovely Singaporean aerospace engineer doing a day trip out to the site. He is not alone, he had his family with him. Must have been about 10 of them. These are random small talk with a big warm family a few thousand kilometers away from home. One of those little trip moments you don't plan for but remember anyway. Then in Lorne, I believe the place was, while we were eating fish and chips, we got swarmed by cockatoos, burung kakatua. Back home it would be pigeons or cats trying to steal your food, but here, full on cockatoos, no shame, no fear.
Aydin.
By Maghrib, kami sampai di Apollo Bay. The hotel was called Coastal Motel. That evening, Azri and I took a walk to the nearest gas station with Aydin just to see apa ada kedai pakai beli barang or groceries. Jadi dalam kedai itu, of course, ada tu juga a shelf of slippers. Custom beli sliparnya si Azri.
Slipar.
That became his line for the rest of the trip. Every grocery store teasing me, ada lagi slipar murah. Every servo, every single time we walk into anywhere with a shoe rack, there it was. And okay, murah pelang sikit, RM15 cumanya. Murah pelang lagi di Brunei itu, RM3. I don't have footage of him saying custom beli slipar. But yeah, I'm just gonna put a picture of him at this gas station every time he mentions that.
Slipar.
Gibson Steps the next morning. Semua dorang turun ke bawah arah pantai. I stayed up top. I mean, someone's gonna get the wide shots and the telephoto shots, right? Alasan lang, But yeah, my knees, I don't think I can do it with my knees condition. And then we stopped at Cape Otway Lighthouse. Correct me if I've got that wrong, but I'm fairly sure that's the one. It was absolutely worth the stop. Pas satu ke Loch Ard Gorge, I don't know how to pronounce it, to see the Razorbacks. We planned on the 12 Apostles too, but the weather had other ideas. It was properly rainy by the time we got close, so we ended up just driving past. Can't win them all. It's a good excuse to come back one day. So right now, Ilhan is on a timeout. Papanya bagi.
For no reason.
For no reason, is it? And just after sunset, we arrive at our final Great Ocean Road stop, the Seafoam Villas in Port Campbell. We grabbed some halal chicken from a nearby gas station and just had dinner with the boys. Aram hotel apa. It's a simple night, beautiful little town by the beach. One of those evenings that isn't dramatic at all, but you remember it.
So makan. What are you guys doing in the cold? Panjok je nek.
And the next morning, we explored the beach near our villa. It was such a beautiful sunrise before heading back to Melbourne. So this is where the road trip technically ends and the city half of the trip begins. But the drive back was honestly just as beautiful. Wind turbines, endless yellow canola fields. And we stopped in Camperdown, it's a town, for coffee. Such a pretty little town. Even the lady at the cash register couldn't stop complimenting it, and she lives there. That's when you know a place is special. Before arriving in Melbourne, we stopped at Ballarat Wildlife Sanctuary dito di Ballarat. Tapi nya Azri, it's pronounced Ballarat. Ada kangaroos, wallabies, Tasmanian devil, wombats, koalas. The kids were obsessed, and okay, so was their dad. Azri basically fought his own sons for the koala and wombat encounters. Me balikkan the Staria to the Alpacas rentals. It was an end of an era, honestly. That Staria carried a lot of memories in 4 days. We Ubered to our apartment in Fairfield. $76 later, and that was officially the end of the Great Ocean Road leg. From here, it was just Melbourne City, taking it slow until Sunday. That's honestly a whole other story, maybe another video. Growing up, Azri, my brother, was always the tough one, the one who didn't really do soft. That's just who he's always been. So it caught me off guard, honestly, how much he looked after me on this trip. He'd wake up and just start making fried rice for me, for everyone's breakfast. Then a few nights he'd catch me out on the balcony by myself, and instead of just leaving me to it, he'd come out with 2 cups of ginger tea and just sit with me. Sometimes kami cerita-cerita, sometimes we wouldn't say much at all. We just sat there, side by side, taking it all in. It's been a while since it was just us like that. Really glad we got that back, even for a few nights. Once this trip is done, I will have traveled with every single one of my siblings. The last time I went anywhere with Azri, we were kids in Dubai and in Paris, I think. And now here we are, grown, married, him with his boys in the back seat this time, still teasing each other about cheap sleepers like nothing's changed. Before this, back in 2015, I went for Umrah with Leah, my father, my late mother, and my late eldest brother, Abang Ami, and his wife. And then in 2019, I traveled to South Korea with my wife, my father, my sister Nurul, and her husband Marul. My mother has since passed, so has Abang Ami. And now this trip with my brother Azri, the last sibling I get to travel with. Now that we're all adults, all with families of our own, all pulled in different directions by life. I don't know when the next one will be. I don't know who'll be there or who won't. That's just how it is, isn't it? You don't always know a moment is special until years later. So to my brother Azri, if you're watching this, I know you don't really have time for videos like this. You're a busy man, always have been. But I'm glad we did this in our lifetime. So thank you, my brother Azri, for this, for everything. Thank you for the freezing floor. Thank you for the sleepers. Thank you for the 4 days in a White Staria I'll never forget, and the rest of the trip in Melbourne. This one's for family, all of them. The ones still here, and the ones who couldn't be. Until next time.
Bro, you're gonna eat the brownies.
Hey, Aydin,
Hello.
having a good life, huh?